Thank you for joining us. A mother's worst nightmare. Imagine giving birth to another person's baby after receiving IVF treatment at a Lowcountry-based fertility clinic.
The mother has filed a lawsuit against Coastal Fertility Specialists claiming they transferred the wrong embryo to her. Webbright spoke to a local attorney that specializes in IVF cases to get some insight on what people can do to protect themselves before seeking treatment and after. Webb?
Well, according to the CDC, a 2018 study says assistive reproductive technology, including IVF, contributed to 2% of all infants born in the United States. While IVF is a popular procedure for those who need to get pregnant through non-typical means, it can be a long process and expensive for most families, but also very successful under the right circumstances.
I think it's important to do your research.
IVF treatments are often complicated to maneuver, so it's important to ask the right questions.
Make sure they have accredited doctors. There's no guidance that requires specific certification, so you want to look for doctors that are board certified in endocrinology and fertility and different specialties.
Kristen Hermes is not only a lawyer, but also has her own IVF success story.
The emotional toll certainly for me was harder than any of the physical aspects of IVF. Certainly there is the financial burden. These procedures cost a lot of money and more often than not are not covered. And so a lot of times women going forward with IVF, they have one shot and this is their only shot. You have to take injections, you have to have a lot of ultrasounds and invasive medical procedures. Even sometimes when you're doing everything right, the procedures still fail. Some people are lucky, but a lot of times it takes years or months, or some people don't have any success.
President Trump signed an executive order on Tuesday aimed at finding ways to reduce costs, but there's still relative confusion when it comes to what is and isn't on the books.
IVF is, in the scheme of medical procedures, relatively new, and so it's an evolving field, and the regulations are, like I said, there aren't very many regulations overseeing IVF, and so certainly we're always watching those regulations to see how it affects patients within our own state and also throughout the country.
In the end, if you're feeling like something isn't right regarding your treatment, the best advice is to trust your gut.
There are medical rights and then there are legal rights. Laws affect both. There will always be right to pursue a lawsuit, whether it's a manufacturer defect or a clinic is negligent in some way, which affects embryos or family planning process.
Now, according to the American Society of Reproductive Medicine, the average cost of one cycle of IVF is about $15,000, and many patients need multiple cycles before a successful pregnancy is achieved. Working for you, Webbright, News 4.